Everybody wanna know where you got your stuff. And you say, man, I got.
Dear America. Okay, never mind. All right, shoot two. We're shaking. Knock off down. I'm gonna make this real quick because this is like my third take on this. I'm not gonna keep saying the same shit over. I cannot post links in the comments. YouTube TOS will terminate my page if you do that. They'll let you build. They're like the feds. They let you build your shit up, then they come get that ass. So to avoid that, I post all this information, all the links, all this beautiful how to get all this shit on my Reddit profile. So moving forward, I will be going back and putting the link to the description, in the description, to my Reddit profile. So all you gotta do, whatever shoe you see, click on the description, link will be there, go right there, it'll be all on my Reddit profile. Did I cover everything, babe?
Think so.
We good? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm ready to smoke a blunt. Go ahead, cut that shit off. Shoe two, we're shaking. It's your boy the Knockoff Don, AKA the Jay-Z of Fugazis. I'm here with my lovely host, the one and only, the one-on-one, non-replicant, but her name is
Rip Wife.
So that's kind of like an oxymoron, but you know, whatever. So today we are here to go over a little fundamental practice I like to call batch breakdown, okay? So the reason why batches are so important is because it literally determines the level of quality you will get from said replica. There are sellers that do, whether if it's middlemen or agent sellers like Weedian, Taboo, Yupo, things like that, they do offer replicant versions of a shoe without a batch required. So number one, a batch just indicates a factory that made said shoe. So, i.e., OG batch, LJR batch, PK batch, Off-White factory. There's a lot of terms used to determine the level and quality of said shoe. So what we're gonna do today is we have 4 examples in front of us, and we're gonna go over the tiers, the pros and cons, the availability, and all that other bullshit, okay? So I got like real technical, I don't know why I was doing all that, but we're gonna go over all of that, all right? So usually this is the part where I'll be like, yo, Rep Wife, say something, and she just awkwardly stares at me and I have to edit it out. So just to avoid that, you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna cut to the right actual QCs and analytical breakdown of each tier and each batch in front of us. Like I said, we have 4 different batches. We have H12 batch, SK batch, OG batch, LJR batch. What kind of batch are you, babe? Go ahead, say something corny, go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead, cut it. So from my right, that's my right? This is the right to left?
Yeah.
Okay, could you at least speak into the mic? What is this, your first video? Like, come on now, we've been doing this for a long time, all right? We got fans now.
Do we really want to go there? How?
I messed up earlier.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
At 12:15.
Yeah, it was 12:15. Exactly. If I'm not mistaken, it was
Now
12.
you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up. You know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so you know what I'm saying that you done fucked up. Now you know that, don't you?
Yeah, shut up.
Okay, so from my left, we're gonna start with the H12 batch. Okay, I'm coming up, babe. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the Maui Wowie SB Dunk High. This is an H12 batch. Now I believe this ran me like 300 some yuan, and I got this off a Weedian seller, the H12 page. So H12, that's a batch. It also is a factory, I believe. And they also have their own Weedian page. And you can also get these through, I wanna say, Middlemen. They carry this batch as well. I love this shoe. We've already reviewed this shoe. You've already talked down on this shoe because you have poor taste, you know what I'm saying?
It's nice though.
Yeah, it's gotten better. It's grown on you, you know what I mean? Like a fungus or something, like this shit under here, you know what I'm saying? Bars. But anyway, like this is the H12 batch. Now this is a very common batch. This isn't a batch with scarcity. They also do, you know, Jordans as well, Air Forces. You'll see a lot of Jordan 4 H12, especially like the black cats and things of that nature. So usually I would say they're like, I wouldn't say mid-tier as far as the quality, but mid-tier as far as the availability, the scarcity. Like they cover a lot of shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like They're not like, oh, we only do one pair. You know what I mean? So like, as far as the tier, they cover a lot of shoes. But as far as the quality, I love them. You know what I mean? Now keep in mind, this is my only pair of H12s. I don't have like 400 other pair to compare them to. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But for my one-on-one experience, these are fucking dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, very.
I'm still waiting on my Miami Vice shirt to come through so I can rock this and look like Tommy Vercetti. I think that was his name. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that sounds like an Italian generic name that they put in a video game, so I'm pretty sure I'm right. You know what I mean? So, like I said, love these. One of my favorites. These came from my Sugar Goo haul, my 9K haul from Sugar Goo. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the materials, the inner line stitching and the hoop and the swoosh is on point. The materials, as far as the quality of the fluorescent colorway they tried to match, it just screams, you know what I mean, dad shirts all day, you know what I mean? Yes. Dad vacation taco meat shirts out, you know what I mean? Ugh, that's gonna be me in 15 years, so you might as well just, you know what I mean, embracing it and suck it up all now, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They got that underline. I haven't done anything to them, I don't plan to. I know I got a little adventurous with the forest, but y'all niggas out your mind if I'm doing something to these. Obviously they got that purple, not purple really, what am I, colorblind? Bright orange Nike branding. Fluorescent orange Nike SB Dunk Pro branding on the tongue. We already went over the inner soles. Is that our kid? Yeah, we just got to ignore her. You know what I'm saying? The inner soles. And like I said, it's a beautiful shoe overall. I just love it. You know what I mean? I love this. And I actually had to do my research to remember if this was an H12 batch, and it actually was. So we almost actually made this video without including this beautiful pair of art that you call sneakers. You know what I mean? You got any commentary on the H12? You like the H12 batch?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I like them too. You know
I really do.
I think they're pretty fire. You know what I mean? I might wear these tonight. You know, I was rocking the Yeezys, but with these in my hand, they feel a little, you know, wearable tonight. You know what I mean? Bust these out. Tell hoes I'm from, you know what I mean? Like I got some Samoan in me or something. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Really?
No.
They probably won't. Okay. Go ahead and cut, I guess. I had to build back up my morale after you tore me down. Okay, I feel more confident to pursue on with the breakdown. So now we have my Hyper 1 Jordan Royal Retros, and these are SK batch. Now they specialize in Air Jordan 1s and things of that nature. I've seen other shoes as far as like other Jordans, but mostly it's Air Jordan 1s. Now, these, like we've already touched on, are amazing. You know what I'm saying? As far as the quality, as far as the one-on-one to the particular suede they were trying to mimic, it looks beautiful. Like, it doesn't really, you gotta see it in hand to really understand the detail and the little nuances that they did cover. The stitching is on point within the swoosh. The Nike brand, the Nike Air brand is correct on the tongue. You know what I'm saying? The toe box isn't ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? The creases are correct. You know what I mean? The Air Jordan branding, all the letters are touching. You know what I mean? The heel tab cut is consistent. It's not too low. It's not too high. It has that hourglass shape that most people look for, even though retails don't have them. Consistency on the midsole, as far as like the painting and the purple. Why I keep saying purple?
I don't know.
What the fuck? It's the weed. It's the weed was wrong. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, right. The gray intertwines with the white. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all there. Like all the nuances. And it even got to a point where there was a time where when people were doing like the videos of like reps passing, you know, legit checks for like retails and like GOAT and StockX, most of those people were using SK batches. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they were through agents or, you know, middlemen or anything like that, because I got this from a Weedian seller. Now SK, they have their own store on Weedian as well. Like I said, the more predominant and the more sought after batches have their own store because they already have a factory. Like I said, batches are named after factories. So it's not really hard to find said SK.
Man, you know the rules. Us brothers don't be getting high. Shut the fuck up, man. They just tried to call you a non-talking bastard.
At LJR Fat Brothers to find these stores on Weedian because they have more mass production, so they can have their stores accessible to whoever. Some of the other batches, they're still like working their way up. So like there's only a rare quantity of said batch. So sometimes sellers may only have access to like only a certain amount, and then they'll be like, well, we have this batch or we have that batch available. We'll touch on that when we get to the Travis Scott ones with the variants of batches and things of that nature. But SK, they're pretty fire. They're a high tier, I would say. Like, you know what I mean? I would give them 10 out of 10 bubes on their batch, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they cover a lot of them. And because the Air Jordan 1 is the most replicated model of shoe of all time. Mostly because it's been out the longest and it has the most aesthetics and colorways, you know what I'm saying? And variants and collaborations. So it's the most replicated shoe. So does that make it easier? Kind of, but they nailed the fuck out of these, you know what I mean? You also have a pair. Those are fire as well.
Yes, they're one of my favorites.
We actually these are actually in our mod, what the fuck? The mod logo. We wore these in the mod logo photo, us matching. So that's pretty dope, you know what I mean? Shout out to SK, you know what I mean?
Shout out.
For lacing us up, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Having us looking dope. Man, we should wear these for our wedding, you know what I mean? Like, or the Great Fives, one of those. What do you think?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, all right. Wish it on a star. Go ahead. Boom. Now we're starting to get to the the God tiers. You know what I'm saying? We starting to get to that level. You know what I mean? We starting to get up there, man. Now, when it comes to a very sought after shoe, such as the Travis Scott one, you know what I mean? The highs, because I keep forgetting they have lows. So I say like this is the only variant of the shoe. Now, when I purchased this shoe through a seller, Mr. Howe, he offered, there's different variants. There's like, this is the OG batch. They had the LJR batch that had just been updated. They had the, I want to say YK or QC. I forgot the other name of the batch. But depending on the popularity and demand for said shoe, there will be a multitude of batches.
But you get to pick.
You get to pick. And in the price range that picks, you know, batch quality depends on the price range. And it's even got to a point where the batches have become so prominent that people have actually tried to replicate said batches. They'll even say it in the description, like LJR. Like they'll even say that, you know what I'm saying? So this right here is the OG batch. Now, from my understanding, I believe this is just a batch. I don't know if there's a seller, I don't know if there's a store that is associated with OG. I haven't seen too many other, I could be wrong. If I need to be corrected, please do. But from what I've seen, the only batch reference towards OG that I've heard or seen has been with the Travis Scott ones. Now, you can get OG batch from either a middleman or a seller on Weedian because they offer these. And there's OG batches for different shoes, just depending on which shoe you're trying to get. You know, so it's not just solely with the Travis Scott. I'm just saying that from my purchasing experience, I've only seen the OG batch on the Travis Scott one high. Now they have them from pretty sure other Jordans. I've seen them for some 4s. I might have seen them for 11s. I could be wrong. But like I said, in my experience, these are it. Now, compared to my other Travis Scott ones, this is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are fucking immaculate. You know what I mean? The cut is right. You know what I'm saying? Like we already touched about, you know what I mean? All the letters and the Jordan branding and the wings are touching. Obviously, the main component with these are the suede and the lack of, or how alive it is if you need to use a suede brush. We already touched on the 3Ms and things of that nature. We'll go over this in more detail. But as far as like the overall grade of batch, this is beautiful.
Yes.
This is a 10 out of 10 boobs. Okay?
Definitely.
These are one of my favorite pair, you know what I mean? Just because of the whole nuances, the aesthetics, everything just about the shoe. I just love it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm glad that I got the proper batch on it, you know what I mean? So like, focus. So I'm glad that we were able to get the right batch. We have, like I said, I have a replicant batch coming for you. It's not a particular, like I said, LJR OG batch. They have those on Weedian, but I wanted a quintessential budget batch, which you can argue is just literally a shoe replicated by a budget seller, but you can find higher tier batches on Weedian. And I think that's where the misconception is. I think when people hear budget, they just think, okay, just the cheapest version of it. When actuality, that's not it. Because we'll touch into that with the Gammas in a minute, because that's the LJR batch that I got for $30. When roughly LJR batch Air Jordan 11s go for roughly 60, 70 roughly. So we're gonna touch on that with that in the next shoe. But like I said, so far, the OG batch, SK batch, H12 batch. And I'm not ranking, I'm not saying which one is the best or the worst. I'm saying as far as like the tiers, as far as availability, quality, and things of that nature. I did say this is mid, but overall, I think they're all high tier as far as what you can get if you do your proper research. If you do the proper research, if you look through QCs, if you look through Sergio bar, Reddit joke, if you do all the proper proponents before you make a purchase, you will get what you're looking for, you know what I mean? But if you just wildly jump out the window, somebody will play you. It's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the game. Go ahead, cut it before I start talking about drugs. Now, bam, here comes the real deal. Now, here is the reason why I even made this fucking video. Is because I got these from a seller that's not LJR. Now, LJR is a seller. It's one of the highest level quality of sellers, LJR. Now, obviously in front, these are my Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues, but I got these from a Weedian seller who had an LJR batch for the low. So you see where I'm going with that? You know what I mean? These were $30. Now, roughly LJR batch, if you get them from a Weedian seller, they still roughly 60, 70. And if you get them from a middleman, that's roughly 140 plus, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they had the LJR batch in these, and that was the whole, like the updated LJR was the whole discussion with these, because I ordered them, they had the OG, and then the updated LJR literally just came out a day after I made my purchase. So they specialize in all the high tier quality of shoes. You know what I mean? Like all the hype shoes, all the ones that people be like sought after, that they want, blah, 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 blah. Those, when you hear LJR, that's usually why it's so expensive, is because they're dealing with the higher quality level of shoes. The shoes that have a certain, like this isn't just a regular shoe. There's certain materials, certain, you know what I mean? Certain craftsmanship that requires to make this shoe, and the nuances to have them perfect. It's not just so much about brand placement and things of that nature. It's literally about getting the patent leather down, getting the right color of the Gamma down, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when you hear LJR, a lot of times the pricing is a little bit more upscale. Sometimes you can argue it's not even budget, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you see the type of quality you get, you know what I mean? Like I said, we even refer to how, depending on how good and prominent the batch is, a seller or a middleman will even say, yo, I have LJR-like shoes, or a LJR-like batch, which is just to give you an indication of like the quality is similar to a LJR batch. It's not quite it, but it's similar, which gives you a picture of how high regard the batch and the factory is within the rep community. And like I said, my favorite pair so far, not just because of overall the steel I got them for, but just the shoe in general. It's fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
Jealous.
Yeah, I know you're still jealous. I hear you. I hear you hating in your sleep. You know what I mean? You actually snore and be like, "Oh fuck you." Wish I had my Gamma Blues. You know what I'm saying? I hear it. I'm gonna record you next time. But you know what I mean? Not now. Don't forget. You know what I mean? Rep Budget Sneakers, we just partnered up with LJR Fat Brothers. So, oh man, that's so beautiful. I'm so excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till we just hurry up and move so I can get back to just buying shoes at a regular rate unnecessarily. I didn't mean okay, right? Hey, I mean, you still
probably
got
not.
You probably will. You got your rings, you know what I mean? You're good for the rest of the year, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to stock up before, you know what I mean, the shipment.
My birthday is next month.
Your birthday is next month. You say you just want to move. You didn't care about...
You're right.
You're right. Okay, so like I was saying, so this is the LJR batch. And like I said, I'm not saying they're the best. I'm just saying from my experience, this is the top tier from all the other batches that I've had experiences from. Now, like I said, I've purchased other shoes from different batches. Like, I want to say it's a G batch. I want to say it's like G G1 or something like that. I'm gonna have to go look back to my warehouse to see exactly what the name is. But I got some Yeezys from them. You know what I'm saying? And they look pretty dope, whether 350s, 700s, you know what I mean? They look pretty dope. I think I got some 500s from them too. But they look fire, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like in hand, these are the only batches I have right now. LJR OG batch on the Travis Scott high. You know, we already said this was fucking amazing, you know what I mean? We got the SK batch, you know what I'm saying? We already talked about how this was amazing as well, you know what I mean? And we got the H12 batch. And this is amazing as well, because I mean, so right now, out of all my experiences, out of the four bona fide batches that I have in front of me, I would say those are like some of the best budget batches. LJR, OG, SK, H12. Like I said, I haven't seen too many OGs, but I know they're out there because I've seen them. I just don't have as many, you know what I mean? But overall, these are like amazing as far as, you know, but like I said, the reason why this is prevalent and very important, whether if you're already like deep in the rep streets or you're on the sidewalk lurking, you know what I mean? You still need to have an understanding of the batch fundamentals. So that way, when you're looking for a certain shoe or you're about to purchase a certain shoe, or if you're comparing it to a certain rep, you know, whether if it's rep to rep or rep to retail, you have to have an understanding of what the batch is. Because if you don't, basically you're kind of like just shooting in the dark, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you see a picture of the shoe doesn't mean necessarily that, you know, bait and switches are real, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may not get that exact form of the shoe that you've seen, you know, on the ad. So with that being said, you know, like, I hope that helps people. I hope this breakdown kind of gives people a visual aid, you know, because I think the best proponent when it's deal with reps is seeing the rep, you know, just as much as understanding where to get them, you know, because anybody could tell you where to get them, but if you haven't seen the shoe and actually have it like at least something to compare it to, like, and not even saying like, because the best experience is obviously in your hand, but the next one is watching it on video, you know what I mean? So just having examples in front of you can help you make your next purchase moving forward. Because it's easy to get on Weedian, you know, get on Reddit, see these Weedian links and see an H12, you know, holding a shoe, H12 with the key, and it might look dope on a picture, but that you don't know what you're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? So it helps to know what the batch is, what they mostly are known for, not saying that what they're only limited to or that's the only way you can get certain shoes from them, but to know what they specialize in before making said purchase, which is why I always stress, do your research, you know what I'm saying? So I've been rambling long enough, you know what I mean? Rep Wife, we about to get up out of here. Do you have any parting ways? Please don't be generic with your outro.
As always, guys, like, subscribe, comment. We read every one of them. He tries to reply to all of you. I hate him.
What are you, my assistant? Like, he tries to reply to all of you. Like, come on now. Come on. I'm not famous. I'm just a regular nigga. You know what I mean? Reviewing shoes, baby.
And I'm just saying.
Okay, it was a joke. That's a joke, all right? That's all it was.
Why you got your stuff? And you say, man, I got the motherfucking plug. Everybody wanna